Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Bit. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. I know I did. I had a good weekend. Saw a Rolling Stones cover band. That was my little Saturday. And in true fashion, the cover band started at, I think it was like 5 p.m. A nice little early show down at the Bowery Ballroom. My in-laws are in town. Good times all around. But we also took in a lot of hoops, man. A lot of basketball. We had good basketball this weekend. Rock hard for the playoffs. But yeah, if it's your first time joining us, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the podcast, 5 stars, do all the things. All the things. Who do we got in the chitty chat this morning? We got Sneeps is up in here. Smoke some from Matic Auto. Regulator here. Yeah, sad day for the Bucks. We got Stubbs in here. Snoopaloop, also Bucks love. Happy National Sadness Day. We got YouTube user, one of my favorite YouTube names in the chat. The Common Man's here. Here's what we got going down for you this week, today anyways. Of course, you made it to the NBA Bit. At 1 o'clock, we will have some SORARE NBA and some SORARE MLB talk over on our Elite Fantasy Sports channel, getting you ready for the game weeks. And yeah, we'll see if anybody's got any good sweats here as round one is quickly reaching a conclusion as some series have wrapped up already, some more tonight, most likely. But let's start the conversation with the last game of last night. And though the only non-entertaining game of last night, the Pacers win at 129-103. But the real story and the thumbnail, Damian Lillard goes down. And it was so clear right away. The second they showed the replay, man, the second they showed the replay of him going down without, I was like, oh, man, he probably turned his ankle. And then they showed the replay, and there was no turning of the ankle. And it looked like he got hit with a sniper there in the Achilles. And again, even before halftime, Chris Haynes was already reporting that they definitely out for the game, and it was concerned it was serious. And that is, I mean, you could even see it in Dame's face when he was sitting there. And it was brutal, man. It was brutal. And yeah, for him to come back in just record time from the deep vein thrombosis, you can't help but speculate, did the quick turnaround time without being able to do too much physical activity, did that have something to do with it? Is it just a freak thing because our guy's getting a little bit older now? It's kind of hard to tell, and it just sucks because there was reference Kevin Durant suffered a similar injury, Klay Thompson suffered a similar injury, and though those guys feel like they were older when it happened, they weren't that old. They were in their early 30s, and Dame now, I believe, is 36 right now, and if it is in fact confirmed to be a torn Achilles, I mean, he's out for at least 1 full year, right? And Dame is 34. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Is he really 34? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Maybe the talk is that he wouldn't be back until he was 36. Hold on. Is that? Oh my God, he's 34. Maybe he's turning 35 this offseason. I was reading dumb Twitter stuff. But anyways, so him coming back, he's probably not going to be until he's 36 or so. I think that was supposed to be my takeaway. Sorry for fake news right off the top about a man's age. It's unacceptable. But it does put Milwaukee in a tough bind. And I mean, I think the conversation around Milwaukee already, because listen, even with Dame playing the way that he was playing, the Indiana Pacers are a better team. And I think there was a little bit of hope, a glimmer of excitement here after Milwaukee takes game 3 from another impressive Giannis game. They got the Gary Trent Jr. game, which we'll talk about in a second. And then you go into game 4, you go into last night, you're like, listen, if they hold home court, now all of a sudden it's a 3-game series, right? And sure, maybe they don't have a chance in hell against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who look like a wagon right now. But, you're still like playing with some pride here. And now it's going to look like a 5-game series with the future of Milwaukee just kind of being an influx. And it sucks to like that to be the thing that we're talking about first. But I mean, like, listen, there were rumors about Giannis already just being like that he wants to win now. And you look at that roster, right? It was kind of some desperation moves there, getting rid of Chris Middleton to go get Kyle Kuzma, who's just been straight ass. And not in a non-factor, and then it's like Brooke Lopez is closer to my age than normal basketball players' age. You've got Bobby Portis out there, who Bobby Portis is still doing Bobby Portis things, but he's getting a little bit older. I mean, AJ Green had a solid game last night, but there's just no like roster flexibility. They don't control a lot of their draft picks, right? I think they're still paying the piper for the Drew Holiday deal from way back when. The first one, the one where they got him from New Orleans, not the Dame one. So I don't really know what the move is here. And like Dame probably would have, if the Bucks front office wanted to try to make moves this offseason, if they lost this first round series, and Giannis has been so clear that he needs to get another one and wants to be competing while he's in his prime, that like Dame might have been somebody that was dangled. And now, I mean, they got no moves. They got no moves left to make. And if Dame is going to miss a full calendar year while also being pretty expensive, right? I think he's due to make 50 plus. There it is, regulated right on cue. 58 million and 63 million for the next 2 years to Dame. So like, I don't know what they do outside of, Giannis Antetokounmpo packing his bags. And maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe they don't force it, but I hate to make everything about Nico, but you just can't help but laugh a little bit to be like, hey man, if you could just wait a second, if Nico could just wait a second and really wanted to move off of Luka, he might have had another option there. So I feel bad for the Bucks fans. It's a crappy way to start, man. It is a crappy way to start. Let's pull up the box score here and just poke around at this game, because I don't want to linger on this too long. Though I was trying to think of like other landing spots for Giannis, and like I don't even know where you go in a win now move, right? Because Giannis is probably going to want to force himself to a team that has a shot at actually getting a W here. Oh, Milo in the chat. Let's go. Love to see it. If you're just joining, now we got numbers are creeping up this morning. Make sure you subscribe. Giannis did have 28 and 15 in 34 minutes. He was a minus 28. And then like, dude, look at this shit, man. So Kyle Kuzma he only played 16 minutes. 16 minutes. He had 3 points. He was a minus 10. Gary Trent Jr. after a fire game the other night where he just went off for like 30 plus, I think he had 6 points. Bobby Portis had 14. You got 23, 6 and 5 from Kevin Porter Jr. Man, it's just tough. It is really tough stuff for Milwaukee. And again, that's like just Jericho Sims played minutes last night. Jericho Sims played 14 minutes. I mean, listen, we can do the Kevin Porter Jr. drop. We can do it just because he had a good game. But man,
we're the Porters. We share the crowd of up and down performers, throwing things and buzzer beater corners. And one of us is playing for the Warriors. We're juniors and we're the Porters.
I think by the time we get to next season, all of those Porters might be playing for different teams. Pacers get that 3-1 lead, though. They applied the pressure. They go back home with a chance to close out in 5. Hallie had 17 points and 15 dimes. Miles Turner, man. Turner set the tone early. He set the tone. 23, 5 and 5 from 5 and 3 from him. He also had 4 blocks. Spicy P with a 12 and 4, and then Aaron Nesmith with 14, all 5 starters in W Figs. Also, Obi Toppin, Jarris Walker, and TJ McConnell also got into double figures. Wow, incredible stuff from Ian Eagle last night. I don't know how many people heard this. Ian Eagle knocks down a 3 early in the first half, and he goes, "Toppin, be poppin' from 3." That's good stuff, man. Ian Eagle, best in the business. I know Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan's the easy W there. Yeah, you pick Kevin Harlan, can't go wrong. Ian Eagle is the best. Also, I want just real quick on color commentators and play-by-plays. One of my favorite things that happens when we get these 4 playoff game stuff on like a single network is you watch you watch TNT get deep in their bag for play-by-play guys, and there was someone I think that did the game on Saturday night that I had never heard of before. I think Mike Devlin, no disrespect. But, normally you hear the voice and you're like, oh, I've heard this before. I know this guy. And not that guy. Stan Loves with a rare W here in the chat says Kuzma contributing as much as Middleton in this series. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I don't understand what happened to Kyle Kuzma. I don't know if he just got so accustomed to playing garbage hoops for the Washington Wizards. He's like, hey, man, I don't really know how the playoffs work. Is that what happened? Is that what went down? And then he just brought that energy to Milwaukee. But, yeah, it's over. It's over for Milwaukee short-term and long-term. I'm sure we'll have a ton of off-season content on where Milwaukee goes. I tell you what, though, the Milwaukee front office is watching this Houston Golden State series, and they're like, Houston, you need somebody? We'll take some of them assets. But the Pacers now, they'll go home with a chance to close out and then most likely head to the land, Cleveland, to take on the wagon of the Cavaliers. I think what I've been most impressed by with the Pacers here is their level of defensive commitment. And again, we say that it's like a broken record every time we talk about them, but I think they're like straight up 8th in defense since the All-Star break or something crazy like that. So I think the Pacers are fun. Pacers are a fun team. They're doing it all against 8 guys in double figures in this game. Really impressive. We got somebody, LJ in the chat says the Kuzma experience is way worse than I thought it would be, man. It's just sad to see. I mean, I think everybody was just kind of like, well, Kuzma will actually play. Middleton, we don't know if he's going to play. Well, I think you would take the unknown of Middleton's health over Kuzma being out there and just being an L. We've had 4 playoff games, and he's just had like 3 bagels. I think he showed up for one half of one game so far. It's just brutal stuff. But congrats to the Pacers, 1 win away from moving on to the second round to take them on. Chris said that third game Kuzma was so physical too. I thought he was going to turn the page dumb. No, you can't. I mean, I think Kuzma at this point, right, if he's going to play like this, he does become a bench guy. He becomes like a 7th or 8th guy that you roll out there and you're like, oh, is Kuzma trying today? No, he's not. All right. Then we'll keep him on the bench. But that's it about that game. I really hope, I mean, it's definitely a torn Achilles. I know it hasn't been, I forget what it's called, but there's a test you can run, the medical staff can run right away. It's like a quick, easy test that basically tells you if the Achilles is torn or not. And then they just do the MRI to confirm it. And my understanding is they ran that initial test. It looks like it's torn, and now they'll confirm it today. I hope, listen, if Kuzma can come back from a blood clot in like 3.5 weeks, maybe he can come back from a torn Achilles even faster. But I hope he gets well soon. And then I feel just so bad for Milwaukee fans, right? At least you get the chip, right? I mean, you get 1 chip, maybe that feels good, and you can carry that for as long as possible. But man, it sucks to see to have this guy, Giannis in his prime, and just one and done again. Yeah, it does hit balls up. It's definitely torn. It's a torn Achilles for sure. Weisberg back in the chat. Hope you enjoyed the birthday, brother. Let's go jump over to another series. I don't want to do Celtics Magic yet. Let's go do Lakers Timberwolves, because we got to give Aaron Borland and Anthony Edwards a lot of love, because dude, he has been incredible. And I'm an Anthony Edwards fan, and even I'm starting to get impressed by what's happening here by Anthony Edwards. Like, it's just he just does it night in and night out. I think the ease in which he's able to get into. Wait, is this true? Did Weisberg really lose his passport? Okay. The ease in which he gets to the rim these days is just incredible. But the late Timberwolves hold home court, right? So they steal game 1, drop game 2, and then rip off game 3 and game 4 at home. They now have a chance to close out in LA for game 5. But I'm telling you right now, Adam Silver is on the horn. Get ready to learn free throws, baby, because the Lakers will be going to the line a million times, and then we'll probably go to Minnesota, where the Timberwolves, I think, will close out. But let's give Ant some love here. Look at this shit, man. 43 points, 9 boards, 6 dimes, and a block. Went 5 for 10 from 3. Got to the line 17 times. You also had Jaden McDaniels follow a 30-point game in game 3, and then in game 4 follows it up with a double-double, 16 and 11. Julius Randle, 25-7. Guys, do we have to start putting some respect on Julius Randle's name? I don't want to do that. That's uncomfortable for me to just start saying, hey, Randle's the baller, but let's do a regular season Randle drop.
Regular season Randall.
He's been out there, man, and he's getting confident. He's doing a little bit of everything, some bully ball stuff. Guys, Minnesota's good. Minnesota's good. Also, I will say, we all have to grow up a little bit, I think, in the way that we talk about players. I know LeBron had that tough turnover there late in the game, and I know he was tired a little bit because we got to talk about what JJ Redick's rotation. But for everybody's takeaway, because they lost by 3 in this game, that's like LeBron sucks. Guys, he played like incredible defense. I don't know what everybody else was talking about. I know it was like a tough last like 30 seconds of the game, and I think LeBron has probably brought a lot of this onto himself by continuing to call himself the GOAT and does some corny stuff. But your takeaway can't be that LeBron sucks. I mean, at age 40, played 46 minutes, got to the line 18 times, had 27, 12, and 8 with 3 steals and 3 blocks. Like, it's just incredible defense down the stretch. He had 0. Yes, he had 0 points. I do think what happened was JJ Redick took a big gamble in this game. And the gamble was, look at these guys. We've got Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Jordan Goodwin, Dorian Finney-Smith. Markieff Morris is on the roster. So is Alex Len, Shake Milton, LeBron's kid, and Dalton Connect. I cannot believe they can't get a single minute out of Dalton Connect at this point. Jackson Hayes plays 4 minutes. He got the honorary start, almost like Draymond Green and Mikal Bridges trying to keep their Iron Man streak going in. You check him in. He steals something, commits a foul. We take him out of the game. And so he played the entire second. Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, Luka, Austin Reeves, and Dorian Finney-Smith played the entire second half. And I kind of respect the move there by JJ. If JJ really was doing an assessment of what he had in his bench and was like, we don't have it. This is the only 5 that can do anything. We are going to go for the jugular now. I think it was a little risky considering they had just played on Friday. They play a late game Friday and then an early-ish game on Sunday. So for those old heads of LeBron, who is my age, has to play massive minutes like that. But I think JJ was like, listen, man, we have to win this game. And if this is how we have to do it, this is how we have to do it. And I think that, this series is over. And you can make the case like, listen, Adam Silver's going to call in the refs and they'll win game 4. We'll send it back to Minnesota. And then if you win Minnesota, anything happens in game 7, baby, right? Like, you can have that conversation all you want. Minnesota is too strong of a team right now. They have more levers that they can press there, where like, hey, maybe Jaden McDaniels goes for 30. Maybe something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just have other levers that they can push, where the Lakers basically like, we need Austin Reeves. And like, look at this, man. Rui gave him 23 points, knocking down 5 threes. Reeves gave him 17, 7, and 4. He knocked down 5 threes. They hit 15, 17, 19 threes in this game. They shot 40% from 3, and you didn't get the W. It's over. It's Jover, baby. It's Jover. Maybe Nas gets hot again. Yeah, exactly. Maybe Nickeil Alexander-Walker knocks him down. Regularly said, is Vanderbilt hurt only 7 minutes? I mean, Vanderbilt is kind of like Jackson Hayes in the sense that on offense they're playing 4-on-5. I just don't think they trust the Vanderbilt minutes. Maybe we see some more Jordan Goodwin. I don't know. But let's give Minnesota some credit, though. Ant-Man is he's something else, man. He's doing it night in and night out. This has been an incredible performance by him this entire postseason through 4 games. And I mean, you want to talk about winners of the postseason, it's Ant-Man. He's arrived. The level of confidence he's playing with, I mean, he seems like he belongs, and it's really impressive stuff. And for the Lakers, like, I don't know. I think the Lakers were not a fake 3 seed. I just think with how competitive the West was, the chips fell in a good spot for them. But they're too thin, man. They're too thin. You're not going to win with 5 guys. Like Rui playing 40 minutes is probably not the key to success there. And again, like Jordan Goodwin, who wasn't on a team halfway through the season, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, like, it's just not enough. And you know who would have helped? Mark Williams. Having a center probably would have been helpful. It probably would have been helpful having a center, and like they're playing 5 out, they're playing small ball. I mean, I guess is bad Luka on the court, and that is why. I don't know, man. I think LeBron. I mean, I think Luka's been fine. I think the biggest thing, this has happened now twice, right? Where like his stat line, 13 for 28, 5 for 12 from three, gets to the line 7 times, knocks them all down. He had 38 points, but then he had to combine 3 other stats, right? 1 board and 2 assists. He had a game. I think it was game 1. He only had 1 assist, right? And so that's gonna cook him. That's gonna cook him. If Luke is at his best when he's like 25, 9 and 9, right? and that they're just not getting that. They're not getting any dimes. And now part of that is because of the facilitation LeBron's been doing. But Maggie Carp in the chat saying Lakers' best 5 is better than Minnesota's best 5, but Minnesota has has 8 good players. Yeah, I know. It's bad. It's bad. But anyways, good win for Minnesota. I think that sets up, whoever wins this series sets up for a fun second round, I think. And they definitely have some potential to both of these teams, or I'm sorry, the Timberwolves and whoever they play, to get to the Western Conference Finals. But if Ant is going to play like this, man, he's averaging like 40 a game, it feels like, this series. If Ant's going to be doing that, sky's the limit. Rudy Gobert is just bad, by the way. Like Rudy, I mean, he's just nothing, just a 0 on offense. I can't catch the ball. It's a tough scene out there, but luckily they got Naz Reid, baby. They got Naz Reid. All right, let's get to another series here. Also, if you're just joining us, do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat, baby. Get active in the chat. Regulator said the Wolves could be hosting the next series. Let's do that one now, huh? Let's go to Saturday. Let's talk about Rockets and Warriors. And the Rockets blew it, man. The Rockets blew it. I thought, they were given a gift. And there was actually 2 gifts. One of them was Jimmy Butler missing a game with that injury he sustained in game 2. The second gift was the Golden State Warriors having to play Jonathan Kuminga. And I would like to take this time to just extend a heartfelt and sincere apology to Steve Kerr, because I thought your rotation management was a little funky. I was like, how can you not find a few minutes to play Jonathan Kuminga? And then we found a few minutes to play Jonathan Kuminga, and Jonathan Kuminga raised his hand and said, this is why you can't play me for a few minutes. And it makes me wonder, maybe he knew that about Jason Tatum in the Olympics too. But man, the Kuminga minutes are just brutal stuff from him. It's been Kuminga comes out there. They even gave him a start. They gave him a start in game 3, and he's averaging, I think, like a half a point per shot attempt or something like that. I don't know. I feel like it's 7 points on 7 shots. It's just tough. And it makes you wonder, why weren't we moving off him last off season, huh? But anyways, the Rockets aren't going to win games, and here's why. They can't score. They just can't score, man. Jalen Green was out there just doing some weird stuff. And again, you win the good Jalen Green game, and you can't. Jalen Green is obviously better than Gary Trent Jr. So let me just throw that out there first. He's definitely better than Gary Trent Jr. But it was kind of like the Gary Trent Jr. game for Milwaukee. You're only going to get one of those, all right? And if you're relying on the Gary Trent Jr. games, or if you're relying on the Jalen Green games, it's not going to happen every night. And they needed somebody else to step up. And Amen Thompson, God love him, I know he's there for just defensive purposes, but he looks cooked out there offensively, just kind of running around. He's got a little Paul Reed in him where it just looks like he's on speed, just flying around aimlessly. Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet, listen up, guys. You got to be better. Now, Dylan Brooks actually shot the ball well, but he also fouled the fuck out of everybody. He only got to play 28 minutes because he fouled himself out. Fred VanVleet played 41 minutes, and weirdly, 5 for 14 is a better shooting performance from him. He had 17 points, but he's got to have a big game. And then Sengun just couldn't knock down anything. 1 for 6 from the line, missed 7 for 18 from the field, and just looked uncomfy, right? Looked uncomfy and confused while he was out there. Was short-arming a lot of stuff, just weird stuff. But Weisberg, Kuminga's comments have been insane, right? He's like, I'm tired of people telling me to stay ready. Well, I don't know, Kuminga, looking at the tape, maybe you should have tried to stay ready. LJ was saying the Rockets have the same problem as the Magic, only they don't have a Paolo, they have a Green. That's fair. Oh, no, but Paolo's better than Green, though. And it's a bullshit criticism, JK, because no, grow up. No, he's going to grow up, dude. He's going to grow up. You can't come out there and then just be terrible. You can't come out there and be you can't complain about playing and then play and then be bad. He hasn't done enough as a pro to have that sort of oomph to him, Be good. Be good. You can be annoyed. Keep that, but you got to play better when you get out there. You got to be given the opportunity. I don't know. Maybe he'll have a chance. He needs a new home. Maggie Carp says Houston's offensive intensity can't match the defensive intensity of the playoffs. That is true. And let's give Steph some love here. We've talked too much about this game without giving Steph Curry some love. Steph, man, Steph did something. That midi that he took, where he like yells at Gary Payton, I think, where he's like, "Give me the ball," and then he just kind of runs to the free throw line, full speed, comes to a stop, brings the dribble back, just the defender goes flying, and then knocks down the midi. I'm like, man, how are your knees like that, bro? How can you still do that? Steph has been awesome this postseason, man. 36 points, 9 dimes, 7 boards, and we say all this to say Houston lost this game with Jimmy Butler not playing. And you can't. You gave it away. You gave the series away because like you could survive. Like say Jimmy doesn't play game 3 or game 4. You got to win game 3 though, because now Golden State, blood in the water. They're like, oh, we can go back to Houston up 3-1 here and then have 3 shots to close out. And you can't. You just can't do that. You gave that game away. Steph plus 18 in an 11-point game. And then nobody like got 17 from Buddy Hield. Which is weird, man. I know that it's a good Buddy performance, but Buddy looks bad out there, man. Buddy looks so bad out there. And then Gary Payton had a solid game. He knocked down 2 of his 3 triples. He finished the game with 16 points. Moses Moody played 23 minutes off the bench. He was fine. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. You want some real analysis here? Some real analysis. If Houston can make any shots, they probably win the game. Listen, I thought they kept game 1 pretty competitive too. So I'm not saying this series is a wrap. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Houston goes out there and is able to steal one tonight. My money would be on Golden State though. Just because again, the offensive woes, I don't see them getting fixed overnight. And if Ahmed Thompson is going to be, you know what my take would be here? Tari Eason played 19 minutes. Let's play more Tari Eason. Tari Eason should be playing 30 minutes, I think. Maybe more Tari Eason, less Goon, more Tari Eason, less Dylan Brooks. I don't know. And yeah, Weisberg, that's what I was saying a little bit earlier in the show, that I think the Milwaukee front office right now is watching this series being like, come on, Houston, flame out, baby, flame out. Jalen Green, Sengun, and a pick for Giannis. Who says no? We'll have to wait and see. Regular said still early, but can the Warriors beat the Wolves? Well, I was talking with our guy Maggie Carp earlier this morning. I actually like the Wolves in that matchup, but he's breaking it down that if like Steph and Jimmy are good to go, they're going to be pretty tough to beat. And it's hard to argue with that. It is hard to argue with that. I'll be curious to see what Jimmy Butler's health is going into tonight. Like, is he going to be good to go? Do we think we get Jimmy buckets back? Yeah, this is an opportunity for them to just like close the door if they win this game. So I bet if Jimmy is good to go, then I would take the Warriors. But Sean, great point here. We also could just be on a legendary Anthony Edwards run. What if he goes through? It could be incredible, right? If he goes through LeBron and Luka, then goes through Steph and Jimmy. And then, like, imagine if the Nuggets or the Clippers, like, upset OKC, and then he has to go through either, like, Joker or Kawhi and Harden and Zubac. Or if he goes through the Thunder, the best regular season team in, like, history and for how long, or, like, statistically speaking, whatever the data nerds will tell you, could be a legendary run. Yeah, Grim Reaper Ant meme. Fired up, dude. Fired up. I still think OKC's pretty good, though. Pretty good. All right, enough about that one. Let's talk about that Denver game because Skeets with a great tweet, by the way, this morning. Shout out our guy, Mr. No Dunks himself. Yeah, but in the same season, Sean. Come on, grow up, Sean. The great tweet being like a huge weekend for grainy footage, right? Because you saw the LeBron Ant foul. And then we had, there you go. Thank you, Virgin. And then you had the Denver Nuggets, Clippers, Aaron Gordon throwdown. I was watching this game. So I mentioned we went to a Rolling Stones cover band. Shout out the Blushing Brides. And then after that was over, we went out to a nice little place called Jack Jones to have some dinner. But where we were sitting, we couldn't see the game, so we had it on the phone. But I was watching on like TNT Overtime or whatever, right? So you can't see like the actual broadcast. You're seeing like, I don't know, you get like you get Kyle Johnson, who works for TNT. You get his camera. But the angle that I had was after the play was over was just on Aaron Gordon. And so watching Aaron Gordon look up at the big screen and just everybody freaking out, just really incredible stuff. Jokic obviously goes into his little Sombor shuffle, throws up an air ball. AG throws it down. They get the win. This is my biggest concern with the Clippers right now. The Clippers literally could have swept this series. They should have won game 1, and they should have won game 4. And now you're looking at a series where they have to win 6 out of 7 games, essentially, right? Because they've won 2, they should have won the other 2, and now they still got to win 2 more. That makes me nervous. Now, glass half full Clippers fans, you can be like, well, yeah, so we shouldn't have any problem winning the next 3 if we should have won all 4. Just you upset the basketball gods when you let games like that slip away. I'm a little bit nervous. For the Clippers that the Nuggets keep finding ways to get these W's. Let's shout out some of these stats. Joker, 36, 21, and 8, man. Also, you know what I'd love to see with Jokic? So he had 25 field goal attempts. I don't know if you guys were catching this, but like Jokic, a lot of the times, like he'll get the ball a little above the free throw line, right? And then we'll look to pass or whatever. He's now like catching and going. He's like attacking a little bit more aggressively. I think he looked around and he's like, am I really relying on Michael Porter Jr. with his one arm to hit shots? We also got to give Christian Brown some love. He had 17, 7, and 5. Brown's fun, man. I think he's pretty fun to root for right now. He get that still shot of him and James Harden getting into it. That was like meme-ified. That was great stuff. It was really good. It was really good. Jamal Murray, 13. Again, Jamal Murray, 13, 7, and 7. If you just look at Jamal Murray's stat line, you would have been like, oh, Clippers won this game, right? Clippers won the game. You held Jamal Murray to 13, 7, and 7. Michael Porter Jr. had 17, then Aaron Gordon 14, but had the 2 biggest with a nice heads-up play with that dunk. They got 4. Dude, you want to talk about J.J. Redick playing his starting 5 or that 5? Nuggets played Peyton Watson for 13 minutes. They played DeAndre Jordan for 5 minutes. Vlatko Konkar, shout out to actually Jeb Bush. He played 2 minutes, and Jalen Pickett played 6. All their starters, 43, 42, 43, 42, 43. I mean, like they're just playing their starting 5. They don't have anybody else. They need Russ to be back so desperately. They don't play tonight. They've got one more night one more night off. Maybe Russ will be good to go for the next one. But if they don't, just expect those 5 to play a ton of the minutes because it's 2025, guys. We can't have DeAndre Jordan playing these minutes. We just can't. We can't have him playing these minutes. And then, yeah, I know what Jokic was awesome. On the Clipper side of things, Kawhi continues to be great. 24 and 9 in this one. Norman Powell gave him 22. Harden 15 and 11 was a little bit more tentative offensively. And then Zubac, another awesome game. Again, we talked about Anthony Edwards being a winner this playoff series. So is freaking Zubac, man. Big Z's been awesome. We love when a guy with the last name that begins with Z cooks, and he's been great. That's a fun story. That's a fun story. But yeah, man, I don't know how the chat's feeling right now. This has been by far the best series. I think like every single game has been competitive and close. It really does feel like the Clippers are way better than Denver. And somehow here we are in a 3-game series with Denver having home court advantage in the altitude with the best player in the world. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I picked Clippers in 6, so maybe we're still on pace to get there, but it's hard to count out these Nuggets. It makes no sense, man. They fire their coach like 4 days before the playoff starts, and then freaking here they are. They're the Mad TV. I don't know who made that joke on Twitter, but their coach Adelman looks like the Mad TV logo. Then they're somehow figuring it out, man. They're figuring it out. Regulator said his favorite series has been the Heat series. You're insane, man. You're insane. Anyways, I'm excited for game 5. That'll be tomorrow night. Hopefully it's a late game. We'll try to play back that one. Because I think, do we have Celtics Magic tomorrow and then Nuggets, and maybe we have 3 games. We'll look at that in a little bit. But fun series. Let's keep it moving. What else did we have on Saturday that we missed? Let's say goodbye to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Thunder win this one 117-150. No Ja Morant. Ja Morant was trying to play peekaboo with the camera. That was cute. Good for him. The Thunder are good. The Grizzlies aren't. I think the biggest takeaway from this series is what does Memphis do heading into the offseason? The general manager, Kleiman, I think, did his exit interview with the press and was talking a little bit about how he still thinks they have a lot of juice left. He did kind of mention, though, there was, I don't have the exact phrasing in front of me or the wording in front of me, but he did mention, basically, it sounds like they want to bring back Ja. and they mentioned Triple J. They're going to have to pay Triple J. Not a lot of commitment to Desmond Bane. If you guys aren't following Fast Break Breakfast on Twitter, our guy Keith Parrish does a really good breakdown on Memphis and was just talking about like if they do extend Triple J, the financial handcuffs that they're going to have moving forward. So Memphis really at a crossroads. I think if you want to be like glass half full, listen, they were a top tier team for like 3/4 of the season and then or half the season and then just kind of shit the bed the second half. They also could not keep anybody healthy, Stances Bane hasn't grown as a player at all. I mean, I don't know, man. Bane's like a really good secondary facilitator. You don't want him to be your starting point guard, I don't think, but he can handle it, like with the second unit. He's also like one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. So I'm hesitant to put this on Bane. It depends how much money he's asking. I think the biggest problem is if Ja Morant is your best player, how good can you be? And and that's not even an indictment on Ja Morant. I just don't know if can he stay healthy enough for a season? Can he stay on what's his leadership like? Like all that stuff's left to question. And I love Ja. I enjoy watching Ja. I don't think they should fully blow it up or anything like that. But again, if he's your best player, I don't know how you take it. Bane to the Magic, maybe. I don't know. I mean, Orlando's. Well, let's save that. Anyways, just give OKC some love. They took care of business. I don't know if there's anything to take away from OKC. Congrats, you beat the Memphis Grizzlies, who also fired their coach and were missing players and stuff. I mean, Memphis put up a good fight at home, both of those games, but OKC is too good. J-Dub, I think he averaged over 20 in the first round, which for everybody concerned about secondary scoring, there's some of that. SGA finally had a good shooting night. Those first 3 games were pretty rough for him, but he finished with 38 and 6 in that game, going 13 for 24, getting back to the line. Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein have just been solid together. Also, dude, I don't know. Alex Caruso, I feel like, was MIA for most of this regular season. And then all of a sudden, he's turned into the best guy on this team. He's been so good, man. He's been so good. That closing 5 of Caruso over Hartenstein there down the stretch was pretty interesting. I don't know. I kind of like it. OKC obviously will feel like, they went from weed to coke in the second round, right after playing a team like the Grizzlies in the first round, and then they get either freaking the Nuggets or the Clippers. Obviously, that is going to provide some other challenges. But again, OKC's been just awesome this season. So congrats to the Thunder. They took care of work. We'll have some time there in the offseason to talk about what the Grizzlies do next. Let's get to Cavs in Miami. I think one of the most disappointing things about this series, as the Cavs go up 3-0, winning 124-187, is Darius Garland talked some serious shit about Tyler Hero, where he's just honest. He was like, yeah, we attack the freaking Hero. Hero's their weak point. We attack Hero. Garland says it. Then Hero was like, I don't know if Garland should be talking about defense the way he plays defense. It's essentially what Hero said, which was great as well. And then Garland doesn't play in the next game. Come on, Darius. You can't talk that shit and then sit the game out. Ty Jerome's awesome. Ty Jerome had a great game off the bench. He had 13 and 11 in this one, but it seemed like he was in complete control. Donovan was terrible. He only had 13 points, had a tough shooting night, was kind of MIA, but then you got 18 for Max Strus. Jared Allen with 22 and 10. Jared Allen cooking Khalil Ware. There's some motivation for Khalil Ware in the offseason and stuff to work on. You can't be getting cooked by JA like that. Cleveland's a wagon. Miami's obviously not where they need to be. I'm sure Miami will be in the conversation of can they go get Giannis Antetokounmpo? Or maybe, hey, listen, Dame might be on the market, Miami. I know you guys are very fond of him. But, yeah, I mean, what are you going to look at this starting 5? Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, Davion Mitchell, and Tyler Hero. I mean, that's not going to win you games, especially when you were the 8th seed. So 3-0 for the Cavs. They are sitting back watching that Pacers-Bucks series, and will, I'm assuming, await to play the Indiana Pacers there in the second round. I don't want to shortchange what Cleveland's done. It's just these games are over before they start. It's over before they start. They just roll through them. They roll through them. Cavs get the W. And yeah, congrats to them. Let's get back to a couple other series we haven't talked about, right? Did we talk about all four in the West? We did. Let's do New York, Detroit. New York steals a 94-93 W. All of the conversation after the game around Tim Hardaway Jr. not getting that call. I joked if Jalen Brunson was shooting that and not Tim Hardaway Jr., he would have gotten 5 free throws. Also, you want to know what my favorite take of the night was? Of my own take, excuse me, my favorite take of this game. And I wish I was like live for it when it happened. Mikal Bridges is the Tobias Harris of this series. Mikal Bridges, bro, where are you, man? Where are you? But the story of the night was Karl Anthony Towns, in my opinion. I know Jalen Brunson was pretty good, 32 and 11. He got hurt and then came back. But Cat, dude, you got to put some respect on Karl Anthony Towns' playoff performance. He hit some tough, big shots down the stretch, couple of threes, one of them where he kind of like through the legs, step back, like way out there, knocks down a big three. But maybe the toughest shot was that one that he took on the baseline, that like turnaround fadeaway. Just some tough buckets from him. Detroit battled in this game, hung in there. Cade got a great look with like 4 seconds left where he gets up there and knocks down or could have knocked down like a free throw jumper that would have given them a 1-point lead with just a couple of seconds left. Can somebody explain to me how that ball got to Tim Hardaway Jr. in the corner? Ball just kind of rolls over to him. Tim Hardaway Jr. gets it. Josh Hart closes out. Tim Hardaway Jr. for sure jumped into Josh Hart, like leaned in instead of just taking the jumper. Josh Hart fouls him. They don't call it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the point that I'm making. Tobias Harris has been good. It's been Mikal Bridges. They don't call it. And then, of course, the most meaningless thing in all of basketball, in all of sports maybe, is the last 2-minute report. Because all it does is tell you how they fucked everything up. And if you're going to do the last 2-minute report to be like, hey, yeah, that should have been a foul, we stopped the game for freaking everything. I don't understand. Like, if you were going to ruin the flow and do replays of goddamn everything that happens in the game, I don't understand why you, like, if you have the ability to be like, oh, yeah, that is a foul 10 minutes after the game, why can't you do it in the game? I just don't understand. Pick a lane. Pick a freaking lane. But anyways, let's keep going. Detroit, they've been in every single one of these games, right? They blew game 1. They come back and get game 2. Game 3, the Knicks kind of held an 8 to 12 point lead throughout most of the game, and then they fight back, but they can't get over the hump. And then this game was right there in the graphs. Like, they had a shot. Tobias had 18 and 8 in this one. Cade, 25 and 10, 7 turnovers. That hurt him. A lot of those turnovers came early. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit some clutch buckets. Malik Beasley, 5 for 12 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3. He couldn't really get going. Paul Reed, Ron Holland, Dennis Schroeder. I can't believe we're saying this. They're really missing the energy of Beef Stew. They were just getting beaten up on the glass. Yeah. What was the question here? Oh, did the Knicks re-sign Bridges? They can't give up Bridges, dude. They can't. They gave up so many first-round picks. They can't. They have to doing it. And you're seeing the good and the bad of the Bickerstaff in this series. Yeah, I mean, Bickerstaff with a brutal challenge early on in this game, just like nullified their challenge almost immediately. It was pretty dumb. I hated that. Hated to see that one. Detroit fans are probably super frustrating, rightfully so, especially with the Brunson performance that they've seen with the foul baiting and then to not actually get the call when you needed it the most. You probably feel like you could easily be up 3-1 in this series if you don't blow game 1, if you don't get screwed over in game 4. I think you should go glass half full in this, where you're like, these are your playoff scars, man. These are your playoff scars. Cade is him. I really enjoyed this back and forth between Cade and Jalen Brunson there for a little bit in the fourth. Just fun stuff. I will say, though, whether the Knicks get through this series or not, this feels like the last time Tom Thibodeau is the coach. And maybe this take is too hot. Maybe this is shitting on the Bing Bong Boys after getting a pretty good, 2 good road wins. I have not been impressed with what I've seen with the Knicks. Like, the Knicks are a better team than this Pistons team, and they just seem to let teams hang around. And I know we should say they played better defense because they only let up 93 points in that game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. I'm not seeing anything impressive from this team. I kind of think we're going to pivot to the Celtics here, and I do have some concerns with Boston, but I don't think Boston is going to have any problems with the Knicks in the second round. And maybe that comes back to bite me, but I don't know if anybody's watching this Knicks team being like, this team's built for it. And so I think the Tibbs run, whether they get through the first round or not, probably ends this season. And then, hey, listen, then the New York Post is going to start saying Karl Anthony Towns and Deuce McBride for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who says no? People were saying KD, get KD to New York. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I don't even think you'd have to do Bridges. Well, I don't know. I don't even know what the deal was. I don't think they're moving off Bridges. I don't. I think they really did trade too many first rounds for it. Let's talk about the, I think the last series we have to get to is the Celtics and the Magic. Celtics dropped the game on Friday. They dropped the game on Friday with, this has been the story the entire time. Paolo and Franz have been awesome. Let's actually go to Friday's box score first. Paolo and Franz have just been so good. Even though Franz' jump shot looks like he changed. Franz Wagner shoots threes like Charles Barkley swings drivers. I don't know what's going on, but it is ugly. But Franz, with his ugly-ass shot, finished that game with 32 points, 8 dimes, 7 boards. Paolo had 29 and 6. Some crazy officiating there down the stretch. KP got like choke slammed on the last possession. The weird thing where the Celtics call timeout, they give him they say it's 0.3 seconds left. It was clearly like at least 0.7, 0.8. And then they review it and then keep 0.3. That was very confusing. But honestly, the Celtics put themselves in that spot. So that's not even to take away from Orlando. They're not. Oh, shout out Jared Magnuson. What's up, baby? Thunder up. Thank you for that. The Celtics couldn't shoot the ball. They were terrible. They shot 9 for 27 from 3, only 9 threes. Jaylen Brown with a concerning 19 and 6. So I'm going to quickly talk about this game, right? So good for Orlando. They hold home court in game 3. And then in game 4, they put up a pretty good fight. Celtics end up pulling away late. Tatum's been awesome. I mentioned his stat line in game 3. In game 4, he had 37 and 14. JB had a double-double, but again, let's talk about JB in a second. And then Paolo and Franz continue to combine for 55. Listen, Orlando, you can't be mad at this. You're a 7 seed. You're playing the defending champs. You're putting up a good fight. Just for the love of God, you guys are talking Desmond Bane to Orlando, Giannis to Orlando. Just get somebody that can shoot the ball and somebody that can dribble the ball so Paolo and Franz don't have to do the whole damn thing. Maybe you got to upgrade Wendell Carter Jr. as well. But like Cole Anthony comes in there. I'm almost ready to say Cole Anthony's dirty, guys. Speaking of dirty, Stan Van Gundy also goes on this long story in this game. After Tatum, I think Anthony Black fouls Tatum like right on the tape where his wrist injury is. Hard foul, not a dirty foul, just a hard foul. Tatum's like laying on the ground for a second. Stan then goes into the story about somebody else that he knew, another player that he knew, being like, I would never wear bandages because when I see a player with a bandage, that's what I'm going to hit every single time, which I think is a fair thing to say. But then he was like, not that the guy was dirty or not. Okay, that is the definition of what dirty would be. I'm just saying you could do it if you want. You can't say that story and then be like, that's not dirty though. That is what dirty is. But Cole Anthony, he's a little frisky out there. I don't like what I'm seeing from our guy, Cole Anthony. And neither does Jamal Mosley because he's been playing Cole Anthony 2 minutes in that game, but he had 2 minutes and 2 fouls. One of them was like pretty hard. Anyway, Celtics get this one 107-98. Celtics will win this in 5. Peyton Pritchard, I think, has 2 points or 3 points in his last 2 games. I think he's only taken like 6 shots. They only got 6 bench points, I believe, in this game. Sam Hauser knocked down 2 threes in the first quarter, and then they did not get another bench point the rest of the game. Celtics bench needs to wake up. This has also been a weird series for Porzingis, right? I think in game 2, he had a double-double. Game 3 and the one they lost, Franz Wagner cooked KP on 2 consecutive possessions in the fourth quarter that kind of sealed the W for him. This game, he just kept getting into foul trouble so much so that Missoula did not even start him to start the second half, brought him off the bench, which was kind of weird. Still had 19 and 5 in only 22 minutes. Let's give Big Al some love. Al Horford's been awesome. But the real concern here moving forward is Jaylen Brown's knee. And I know, again, Jaylen Brown had a 30-point double-double in game 2. We mentioned his stat line in game 3. In game 4, had another double-double. JB looks bad on defense, man. And he, like, KCP crossed him up a couple of times. And, like, KCP barely can dribble with 2 hands right now. And, he just was kind of looked a little I don't want to say lackadaisical because that makes it sound like he's being lazy or anything. I don't think it's that. I think he's really hurt. And again, offensively, it's not bothering him too much. And again, he had a dislocated finger from game 3. He's dealing with the knee. Like, I don't know, maybe he's just a little dinged up. Maybe they just need to get through the series and then play somebody like the Knicks who don't play defense. But he's hurt. And then Drew Holiday's now missed 2 consecutive games with hamstring. Missoula said I think before game 4, they expect Drew to be back either for game 5 or relatively soon, something like that. So it sounds like Holiday's close to coming back. But the JB thing is concerning. I think the Celtics still would get by the Knicks fairly easily in the second round. But the Cavaliers are a real legit 1 seed. And I know people don't want to give them credit, much like the Thunder, until they have the real playoff experience. But I do think Cleveland is going to be a tough out and honestly probably should be favored in a series against the Celtics. But if JB is not 100%, that's going to make things really tough for them. And I know Tatum's not going to get any credit because nobody likes Jason Tatum. He has been awesome. He has been awesome this postseason, even with missing game 2 with that injury. Really big performance from him last night, doing it on both ends, rebounding the hell out of the ball. He's been good. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Tatum's wrist. Again, he shot the ball pretty well last night. The 3-point shot wasn't falling, but still got to the line 14 times. Also had 3 steals. Like Tatum's fine. But I do have some concern if JB is not good to go. LJ said we haven't played Celtics basketball at all this series. Very ISO heavy. Ball isn't moving. No, I said that. I said Drew Holiday and his quad. Is he not missing? I thought it was, his hamstring. Isn't it his hamstring? I said Drew Holiday. I said that Missoula expects him back for game 5. I think credit Orlando for this too. Back to LJ's point. I think Orlando has been playing so physical and just mucking it up because they know that's their best. Oh, it's talking about his top shots count. Nice. I think Orlando's been doing a good job, mucking it up and just also Paolo and Franz. Paolo's been awesome. Paolo's been so good. It's been so good. Granted, he has to do everything because they don't have anybody, but there you go. That's every series. I think we're gonna wrap some stuff up here soon, series wise, right? I expect this. Let's go look at the schedule. Actually, I expect the Celtics to wrap things up. I expect Cleveland to wrap things up. Let's share screen again. This is what we're looking at. We've got, there we go. Good stat by Weisberg there. What was that? First time with the C's win with under 10 made threes this year. Yikes. So 2 games tonight. We got Cleveland at Miami. Cleveland going for the sweep. Houston backs against the wall. We'll have to wait and see if Jimmy Butler is playing. The line being 3.5 makes me think they don't know if Jimmy's playing yet. And then Tuesday, we have 4 games on Tuesday. Wow, I did not know that. So we'll have Bucks Pacers with the Pacers trying to close out. Detroit Knicks back at home. Look at that, lowest asking price, $337. They'll have a chance to close out. Boston Orlando will be at 8:30. Wow, a 6:00 start. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, schedule people. And then we've got Denver and the Clippers for the late night. That'll be fun at 10 o'clock. And then Wednesday, I'm assuming we won't have a Miami-Cleveland game. And then we might have 2 other series wrap up, Golden State and the Lakers. So we're getting to the fun part, baby. We are getting to the fun part. Just a reminder, too, if you want to do some fantasy sports stuff, 1 o'clock today, 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll be firing up some NBA, some fantasy NBA content, some fantasy MLB content as well on the SORARE side of things. And then, hey, if it's your first time hanging out here, NBA Bit, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., baby, 9 a.m., breaking everything down. So we'll be back again tomorrow. I'm sure we'll be over on playback at some point, either tonight or tomorrow, catching some games. So make sure you tune into that. Was there anything else we missed from this weekend? I feel like we covered most of the stuff. I feel like we're still going to, I bet by the time we're right when we end this show, we'll get confirmation about Dame's Achilles would be my guess anyways. Especially because they're at home. I'm sure they're doing the MRI now. Poor Dame, man. It's just brutal stuff. We're going to have so much between Memphis and Milwaukee, and depending on what happens with this Houston series, we're going to have a ton of fun off-season content, excuse me. Yeah, LA show next weekend, right? We got the bomb show. HoopSense making flights booked, making a trip on Saturday. It's a quick trip. I think I'm going to be there for 25 hours. But yeah, live show on Saturday, which should be fun. So if you're in Cali, come hang out. Or LA, I guess. You shouldn't be traveling for it, I don't think. But I think that's it, boys and girls. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great start to the week. We'll have some Old Man Hoops updates for tomorrow. That'll be fun. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 9. Otherwise, we'll see you at the Fantasy Streets at 1 p.m. We out, skis. Have a good one.